Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of the YouTube world, CJ Rose is back in the building. Welcome back to the channel. All right, so I said I'd do it, and we doing it today. Today we are doing our mid-season review of the NBA season. Basically, review teams, talk about where they are, talk about where they're gonna be in the next 2 months because the playoffs are within 2 months. So let's just review where they will be and where they can be and possibly the future. All right, so I got my notes right here. Let's go. All right, so the first team we are talking about is the Atlanta Hawks, who are 17-41 for the season. And since today is Sunday, they played last night. They beat the Mavericks, actually, last night by 3. This placed them, I believe they're 10th. No. I think they're 11th or 12th in the East. They're not doing well. Let's just put it the way it is. But Trae Young is having a tremendous season, dropping 30 a game. He was an all-star last week, so he's playing tremendous. John Collins is playing solid. All that team really needs is just pieces around those two. If they can get pieces around those two, then Atlanta will be great because Trae Young is showing that he has so much promise in this league. He just needs the right pieces around him. John Collins is a good partner. John Collins is very solid as a player too, but again, it's just about what the organization can do. If they can get what they had in terms of a coach like they had from Mike Budenholzer a couple years ago, and you see what he's doing for the Bucks franchise right now. If they can get a coach like that on this Hawks team, and then get good role players, good solid players around Trae Young, and I guess John Collins in a sense, then they will do very well. So, let's hope that Atlanta does that, because Trae Young said it last week. He's getting tired of losing. Let's see how long Atlanta can, let's hope they can get out that rut. All right, next team up is the Boston Celtics, who are 39-16. Actually, today they actually play the Lakers tonight in LA. I'm definitely gonna watch that. So I wanted to do this before that game started. They're third in the East, doing very well. Actually doing better than they did last year. Actually doing better than they did the last 2 years. And that's no disrespect to Kyrie, because Kyrie's a great player. But Kemba Walker's just a better team player. And that's the thing. Because as you see, Kemba, his production has gone down since last year. I think last year he was dropping 25 a game. Now he's averaging 22. And Jason Tatum improving year after year now. Now he's averaging 23, 24. Just close to that right now. So he's showing us what he can do. But it's not his full potential, and it's fine. He has a lot of years ahead of him. So he has a lot of time to show us his true potential. But right now, everything is good. You got, as I said, Kemba Walker, team player, playing well. You got Jason Tatum showing us something. Jaylen Brown dropping 20 a game. So they got 3 20-point scorers on that team. Gordon Hayward is looking solid this year, averaging 17. You got Enes Kanter, who's doing very well. Marcus Smart playing very solid. Everybody on that team right now is playing very solid. So they're exceptionally dangerous in the East. I don't know if they'll be able to beat the Bucks, because the Bucks look unstoppable right now. I don't know who the hell can beat that team. They legit will run through the playoff, run through the East, and go into the finals. Well, we'll talk about the Bucks when we get there. But Boston has a really good case of getting to the finals if they can build up the success. Because most of that team knows how to run through the East. The only thing is Kemba Walker doesn't. Kemba Walker has had an up and down career in terms of winning. So hopefully Brad Stevens will show him how to get to where he needs to be and make sure we get it done. Let's do it, man. Boston, they're looking good. They're doing well. Next team up is the Brooklyn Nets, who are 26-29. Because, yeah, they're 26-29. They played last night against the Hornets. They beat the Hornets. They should beat the Hornets. I don't know why they wouldn't beat the Hornets. But, yeah, the Brooklyn Nets are more... We're not really focused on the Brooklyn Nets this year. We can't be. Because now with Kyrie out indefinitely, so it's a possibility he might not even play the rest of the season, but he'll probably play like April or so. He'll be ready for the playoffs. He's out indefinitely, but he'll be ready for the playoffs. I know Kyrie. He'll be ready for the playoffs. But we're more focused in terms of Brooklyn in terms of next year because of Kevin Durant. Once he comes back, we'll see how he is after he tear his Achilles? He did tear his Achilles, right? Yeah. We'll see how he is after his torn Achilles. And we'll see how him and Kyrie work out, because that's going to be a very interesting pairing. Like, next year, they'll win 50 games. They'll win 50 games. They'll be top 5 teams in the East. I don't know how far they'll go, but that's the future. For right now, Brooklyn is practically the same as they were last year. They're 7th in the East as they were last year. No. I'm sorry, they were 6th last year. Damn, they're doing worse than they did last year. Because they were 6th last year in the East. Now they're 7th. On a losing record, no less. They're 3 games below 500, so they're not doing that well. So that's a problem. But again, it's more injuries than anything. Kyrie being hurt most of this season. KD not playing at all. So, this is just all about next year. We'll see where next year stands in terms of Kyrie and KD together and the Brooklyn Nets. Next up is the Charlotte Hornets, who, as I said, they lost to the Nets last night. So they're not doing well either. But they are doing better than I thought they would be, because right now they're 19-37. They're 5 games back from the 8th seed. So the 8th seed is the Orlando Magic. So Orlando, we'll get to Orlando, but I'll just let you know Orlando is the 8th seed. But with the Hornets, they're 5 games back. So if they can get a string going, if they can pile up some wins, get a little bit of win streak, and hopefully Orlando starts falling, and I guess the other teams that are in front, is there another team in front? There is. There's I think 1 or 2 teams ahead of them for the race for the AC. But if Charlotte could pile up some wins, get something going, and hopefully the other teams start falling, then the Hornets might squeak into the playoffs. I don't know how well that would work, considering what Charlotte has, but anything's possible. To tell you the truth, anything's possible. So we'll see where the Hornets go. Next team up is the Chicago Bulls, who are 19-38, because they actually lost last night to Phoenix. But Chicago is, I guess, a game. Yeah, they're half a game below the Hornets. They're 10th. No, I think they're 11th. They're one of those positions. But they're 5.5 games back from the 8th seed. Now the Bulls were 9th at one point, so they were like legit close to getting to that 8th spot. Hopefully being in a playoff position, but they kept falling down with loss after loss after loss. Zach Lavine, as we all know, is just killing the game. It's kind of frustrating how this man was not an all-star this year, but I understand. You have to, in order to be an all-star, team success have to be part of it. But sometimes there's exceptions. But I think Zach Lavine is just playing exceptionally well. The last 2 seasons, ever since he's been on Chicago, he's been playing very well. He's been showing us a lot, showing us his difference of his game, because everybody thought he was just a dunker. No, this man could shoot. This man could drive. He could pass. He can do a lot of things. So I hope there's some success for Chicago in the future, because I think what they have a lot of young talent. Kobe White, Larry Marketing, Wendell Carter Jr. They got all these pieces that they can get. They can do something with, but it's up to them to get it done. But I have been hearing that there's been a lot of talks about firing the front office because the front office isn't doing what they're supposed to do for Chicago. So I don't know what this offseason holds for Chicago. I don't know what's going to happen in Chicago in the future. But all I know is that once they get it right, I think we're seeing something special in Chicago. It just takes the time, take the effort, they get it done. Simple as that. All right, the Cleveland Cavaliers. The once almighty Cleveland Cavaliers have now fallen over the last couple of years, which makes sense. LeBron has left. And there's nothing going on in this team. They're 15-41. They are, I think, first to last team in the East, if not the. I think they're the worst. Are they the worst? They are actually the worst team in the East. They're the worst team in the East. And you're gonna see something funny once I get to Golden State. But Cleveland is the worst team in the East. Recently, of course, as everybody knows, they traded for Andre Drummond, so Drummond is now on the team. Now, it makes it kind of hard because, to me, I think with Drummond on that team, Drummond and Love, I think they can make something work. I believe they can. I think if Kevin Love could somehow keep himself healthy enough where he could go back to, 18-11 Love, because we ain't going to see, we're not going to see 24, what do you have, 24 and 12 Love. We ain't gonna see that no more. But if he can keep himself healthy, him and Drummond actually got something. Then after that, they just have to work around them. Even though Cleveland probably don't have a lot of parts anymore. They got their two small guards in the back. Darius Garland and Colin Sexton. They got their two small guards in the back. Of course, they still got Tristan Thompson. Matthew Dellavedova on that team. I forget who else they have on that team anymore. But if they can find a way to work around Drummond and Love, then they have something. They could work something out. As well as they fired their coach. No, they parted ways with their coach. So Cleveland's in a rebuilding state here. So we're going to see in the future what goes on with them. But right now, this season, this ain't it. This ain't it. Hopefully next season they can make some off-season moves, do something, because we're not even sure Drummond comes back. So let's see if they convince Drummond to stay and maybe build something around, again, Love and Drummond. In case they trade Love and let Drummond go, then they're just rebuilding entirely. So we'll see how it goes. But right now, Cleveland, this ain't it. Cleveland, this ain't it. I'm sorry. This is that. All right, Dallas. They're seventh in the West, 34-23. They are doing very well. They're doing very well. So I'm not putting it past them. They're doing very well. With Luka Doncic playing out of his mind this season, 38-9 is his statistics. Dallas Mavericks are playing very well. Will they be dangerous? They're not as dangerous as I thought they would be in the beginning. Because I thought in the beginning of the season, as the season was going on in the beginning, that they were going to be a super dangerous team because the way Luka Doncic was playing. And Porzingis was playing in the beginning too. So I'm like, all right, this team looks dangerous. At the time, I think they were 4th and 5th in the West. So they were in the top 5. So they were looking good. But they kept falling down with loss after loss after loss. Porzingis got hurt again. Luka Doncic got hurt. He hurt his ankle recently, yeah. Excuse me. He hurt his ankle, so he's a little bit up and down, but he'll definitely be ready for playoffs. I know this team will be ready for the playoffs. I know they will be. So we'll see how they go. But right now, Luka Doncic is playing very super well. Top 5 in the league. Top 5 in the league? Can we say he's top 5 in the league? Well, I'll say top 10 in the league right now. But Luka Doncic is playing very well. This team will definitely go places. I don't know. They'll get out the first round, honestly. I don't think they'll be beating the second seed, whoever that will be. But, again, we'll see how it goes. But that team is playing very well. Speaking of the second seed, we're going to go to the second seed in the West, which is the Denver Nuggets, who are 38-18 as we speak. Again, as I said, they are second in the West. Denver for the last this season and last season, they've played very well. Actually, if I'm not mistaken, I think last season they were the second. They were second in the West last year too, weren't they? Last year, yeah, yeah, no, yeah, yeah, yeah. They were second. I don't know if did Golden State secure the first seed last year, or was it done? I don't remember. Oh yeah, I do remember. Yeah, Denver was second. So Denver was second last year in the West. This year, they're second again. So Denver is showing consistency, and it's just they just need that one push. That's all they need. They didn't have one push. Because last year, honestly, in the playoffs, there was a lot of holes. In the first round, they went through 7 games just to beat the Spurs. And then in the second round, they went through 7 games just to lose to Portland. So there's something there that Denver has that they need to find out what the problem is. And once they find out, then Denver's dangerous, then they're going to be dangerous. Denver is dangerous already. They're already a dangerous team. So you don't want to see them in no games, no playoffs, no nothing. So Nikola Jokic is playing very well. He's not, so I don't want to say he's not playing like MVP because I think he's playing very well, but I don't know. But he's good. He's good. Jamal Murray, that's my guy. Jamal Murray is my guy. He's playing well. You know, that team is super young, super deep. They can make a push. But again, they just need to figure out, they need to fix what happened last year. Last year cannot happen again. Hopefully they found what the problem was. And you're going to see hopefully a long playoff push this season. Am I hoping? We'll see. We'll see. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what goes. I'm hoping for the best for Denver. All right, next team up is the Detroit Pistons, who are 19-39. So they're below. They're half a game back from Chicago. So Detroit is 6 games back from the 8th seed. I only put this 6 games back from the 8th seed because, as I said, anything could happen. So that's what the thing is. Anything can happen with all these teams. Detroit's going through a whole rebuilding phase, as you've seen. As I said, Drummond got traded, so their star got traded. Blake Griffin is hurt. He's been playing horrendous this whole season, so he's hurt. Then you got, Derrick Rose is playing very well. But so far, that's the only bright spot for him. Derrick Rose has been playing well. Drummond was playing well too, but Drummond got traded because they've been trying to trade Drummond for a while. So this comes as no surprise. As I said, Blake Griffin's hurt. So Detroit, this ain't it. I always said this 6 games back from the AFC simply because, again, anything can happen. They can make a late push, but Detroit, this ain't it. Just look forward to next year. They actually might trade Blake Griffin in the offseason just to get that whole rebuilding phase going. Because there was rumors that Rose was supposed to get traded, before the trade deadline. So they're definitely gonna go through a whole rebuilding phase this offseason. So don't be surprised if Blake get traded. Don't be surprised if Rose get traded. You don't be surprised. Just don't be surprised. Just boom, let it be. But Detroit, this ain't it. Detroit, this ain't it. All right, next team up is the Golden State Warriors. My, oh my, have the mighty have fallen. It was just last year we were talking about how much of a juggernaut this Golden State team was. You had Curry, you had Clay, you had KD, you had Draymond Green, you had Iguodala, you had McGee. You had all these pieces. Actually, McGee wasn't even on the team last year. You had all these pieces. You went to the finals for the 5th straight time. You were looking for your 3rd straight time. You actually were looking for the 3-peat, something that's only happened twice in NBA history. But unfortunate injuries happen. I'm not going to bash the Warriors. I ain't going to do that. It's just unfortunate what happened. Clay injured. I think he tore his ACL. He tore his ACL. KD tore his Achilles. That finals was all but a loss for them. And it made it worse. Made it worse with all the injuries. So as the offseason happened for them, they lost KD to free agency. KD decided to sign to Brooklyn. And they signed D'Angelo Russell to a 4-year contract, and then the trade deadline happened 2 weeks ago, and then they decided to trade him for Andrew Wiggins. I think everybody knew D'Angelo Russell was gonna get traded. We just didn't know when, and we just didn't know how, and we didn't know for who either. So they decided to trade for Andrew Wiggins, and it makes it interesting because with Russell is a point guard, but he's a ball dominant point guard on top of that. For me, D'Angelo Russell didn't really work for me. I actually said this in my my video when he got well, technically in this sense he got traded to Golden State, but I said it too in this sense. I said I don't think Russell's gonna work. I think it would only work if they put Klay Thompson at small forward and everything, but we will know how much it would have worked for the future. But Golden State, God, even with Curry, they were falling. Boy, when I tell you they were doing bad, they're doing bad now. They're 12. What are they? They're 12-44. They're the worst team in the league. And the reason why I said when I was at Cleveland, when I get to Golden State, it's going to be interesting. Golden State's the worst team in the league. Cleveland is second. These two were just in the finals 2 years ago. Almost said 3 years ago. 2 years ago, they were in the finals. 2 years ago, these two teams were in the finals. And now they're the two worst teams. They were the two best teams in the league. Now they're the two worst teams in the league. Crazy what time does. But yeah, in terms of Golden State, it's just all about, again, it's the same thing with Brooklyn. It's just about the future. This season, throw it away because there's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do with this team right now. All the injuries, it's just injury based. But even with the injuries, they weren't doing well to begin with, so I don't think it really mattered about the injuries. But with Andrew Wiggins on this team, it makes it kind of an interesting dynamic because actually people said this might make this team, or might make Wiggins' game better, only because you're playing with Curry and Clay, who are known to get double teamed because of what they can do outside of the paint. These two are snipers. The two best shooters in the ever. Curry's the best shooter ever. Klay Thompson, top 5 best shooters ever. These two could shoot anywhere. That's what makes them dangerous, and that's what's gonna cause the defense to collapse on them. So that way they could just pass out to Wiggins. Wiggins could either take a mid-range, he could take a 3 himself if he wants to, or go into the paint, because that paint might be open depending on how much spacing the Warriors do. So if you look at next year, we're looking at Curry, we're looking at Clay, we're looking at Wiggins, we're looking at Draymond Green. I don't know what their center's going to be, starting-wise. If it's Willie Cauley-Stein, then that's not a bad 5. That's not a bad 5 at all, because Willie Cauley-Stein has some potential. But it all depends on timing. We'll see how Clay is after he tore his ACL. We'll see how he is, because once you come back from ACL, you're not the same. But that's usually in terms of more in terms of drivers, slashers than anything. In terms of a shooter, we don't know, because Clay doesn't move a lot, but he does space the floor probably better than anybody. He's the best shooter ever off the pass, best catch shoot player I've ever seen. And Curry creates. How Curry does with the ball. He probably one of the best shot creators in the game. So, again, this is just more for a future in terms of Golden State. We'll see how Golden State is next year. It's going to be a very interesting year next year for Golden State. I think they will be right in the playoff hunt, just like they were before. Nothing changes. But this year, we'll watch. It's done. We're not talking about Warriors this year. They're done. All right. Next team up, the Houston Rockets. The more interesting teams in the league for a plethora of reasons. Well, first things first, they're 36-20. They are 4th in the West. So they're right there for one of the best teams in the league. Now, what they decided to do was probably the most interesting. They decided to trade away their big man, Clint Capella. That's another thing I talk about Hawks. Damn, my fault. My fault for Atlanta. That's why I didn't talk about in terms of the Hawks. The Hawks acquired Clint Capella from the Rockets. So, and Clint Capella's hurt at the moment too. So, once Clint Capella's healthy, we'll see what him, Trae Young, and John Collins can do for the Hawks going forward. Now go all the way back to Houston. As I said, they traded Clint Capella to they traded Clint Capella. Actually, they traded a good couple of people off their team. So they traded Clint Capella, but they also acquired Robert Covington, one of the best perimeter defenders in the league. That's a good pickup. The problem is they did not get a center, which is what they needed to do, because you're giving up one of the best centers in the league. Clint Capella is one of the best centers in the league. But that's also probably your biggest player on your team. So you just gave up your biggest player on your team. So now your starting 5 is PJ Tucker playing the center and Robert Covington playing the power forward. Now, granted, Robert Covington could guard the power forward position, so that's fine. It's PJ Tucker that's a problem, because what the hell are you going to do when you got these giants in the paint coming at you? Like, what are you going to do when Embiid bodies you? What are you going to do when Towns bodies you? What are you going to do when Jokic has his way with you? What are you going to do when Anthony Davis is coming at you? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do? You don't have a lot of... And those are 4 unstoppable centers. I mean, Jokic can be stopped, but you get my point. You know, once they get in that paint, it's a problem. So what exactly is Houston going to do to combat that? PJ Tucker is a solid defender, but I don't think he's good enough to be able to stop a damn center. You know what I'm saying? This small ball can work. It has worked in the past for multiple teams, but this can only get you so far. And Houston has gone far in the league to begin with. They've gone far in the playoffs, but they just don't. There's something missing with that, and I think. And James Harden is one of the reasons why they haven't gone as far as they should. They technically should be. They should be NBA champions. They should have been NBA champions. They should have been NBA champions in 2018. But with Chris Paul getting hurt, you know, that didn't happen. And we let that be. Then next year comes around. Last year comes around. They meet the Warriors again in the second round. And they lose 4-2. They lose in 6 games. So it's like they had it, but they lose it. So with this dynamic that they have now, I'm not sure if this is even the way to go. But who the hell knows, man? We'll see as time goes on how this helps, but I don't know how well it's going to do in the playoffs. They'll be right into the thick of things. And actually, they just played last night, too, and they actually beat a good Utah Jazz team, so... Again, for the season, this will work. For the playoffs, I don't know. All right. Let's speed up a little here. All right, so next up is the Indiana Pacers, who are 33-23. They are 6th in the East, right behind Philadelphia. And I will get to Philadelphia in a minute. But the Pacers are playing well. They just got back Victor Oladipo. They got Malcolm Brogdon out of free agency last year. They got T.J. Warren as well as Jeremy Lamb. You know, they still got their pieces. You know, Miles Turner's still there. True. Is it? Oh yeah, both Holiday brothers. Is it both Holiday brothers? I think it's Aaron and Justin. I think both Holiday brothers are on that team. Yeah. Pacers are doing well. I don't know how far they're going to go, but if they get it right, they'll be a good team. That's all I can say about Indiana. Just hopefully Victor Oladipo gets better with health. He seems to be looking well. We'll see how that contributes come playoff time in April. Now, let's get to the LA teams. Let's get to the Los Angeles brothers. Let's start off with them Los Angeles Clippers, who are 37-19. They are third in the West. Now, last night they just lost to the Kings. This is their third straight loss. Now, the problem is everybody's saying that the Clippers are the better team than the Lakers. The problem is with the Clippers is two things, maybe three. The first thing is, well, let me get to the positives first. They actually acquired Marcus Morris Sr.? Is it senior or junior? I think it's senior. Marcus Morris Sr. from the Knicks. So they added another piece, as well as Reggie Jackson is supposed to sign to them, if he didn't already sign to the Clippers. So they're trying to build as much depth as they possibly can on this team. But again, two, maybe three reasons why right now the Clippers are not better than the Lakers. The first thing is what killed them in the beginning was load management. Kawhi was taking games off. He wasn't playing all these games. So load management has been killing them chemistry-wise, because it's been said that that whole five of, was it Montrezl Harrell, Kawhi Leonard, Paul George, Lou Will, and Patrick Beverley, that five has not played as much games as they should, to the point where, okay, maybe they should. Okay, we know how dangerous they are. Because on paper, that team is exceptionally dangerous. Exceptionally dangerous. But the problem is they haven't played a lot, and that's due to injuries and load management, because that's the second thing. The second thing is Paul George has been hurt. Paul George came back, I think, 20, 25 games into the season, and he was looking good. He's still looking good. But the thing is, Paul George and Kawhi Leonard have not played together enough where we know how good they can be, and they know each other's mistakes and faults and everything. We don't know that. So, with that, how far the Clippers going to go in the playoffs? We don't know. Because Kawhi can only do so much. And, you got Lou Will off the bench. Lou Will's still looking good. And Montrezl Harrell is still looking good. That team on paper is super dangerous, but they need to be healthy and need to play together. Once they do that, then they're straight. You know what I'm saying? They're good. They just need to play together. That's all it is. But right now, the Clippers are good. The Clippers they're top three teams in the West. They're good. We just don't know where they're going to be playoff time. They'll be in the Western Conference Finals. I picked LA. I picked the Clippers and the Lakers, an LA showdown in the Western Conference Finals. I still feel that way. Because once Kawhi snaps into playoff mode, it's a problem. You saw what he did last year in the playoff. You saw what he did last year. Trust me. He going to replicate that, if not do it better this season. I promise you. All right. That's one LA team. Let's get to the next LA team, which is the Los Angeles Lakers. 42-12. They are the best team in the West. And that's due to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Both of them are playing well. LeBron James probably having one of his more memorable, probably more statistic better seasons than he's had. He's averaging 25 points and almost 11 assists. His career high in assists, so he's looking very good. Anthony Davis is dropping 26 and 9. Those two together are just unstoppable. You can't beat them. You can't stop them. There's not much you can do. But after that, it's the entourage. it's the backups. But they do have a solid team. You got Dwight Howard. JaVale McGee, Kyle Kuzma, Rondo, Quinn Cook, Alex Caruso. You got Jared Dudley, Danny Green. You got all these pieces. So they have good pieces. And everybody is playing their role the way they should. Oh, Avery Bradley too. Everybody's playing their well as much as they should. They got the defense. They got the vets. They got all these pieces, so they're gonna do very well. I picked this team to go to the NBA Finals, and I feel like they will. They got it gelled up. They just need to make sure they keep it together and make this push to the playoffs, where once they get there, they start dominating. Because we all know about playoff LeBron. Once LeBron gets in playoff mode, it's a problem. He will do everything he can to make sure he gets to the finals, and I appreciate that. I love that about that man. But yeah, as I said, I picked the Lakers to go to the finals. There's nothing else I really can say. It's just what it is. It's what it is. Lakers are going to the finals. I don't see another team surpassing them. Because I said, as I just said, I think the Lakers and Clippers will meet in the Western Conference Finals. The problem is, I don't know if the Clippers are ready to go there yet because they haven't played together enough where we know they're definite. I'm not sure. The Lakers, however, we're going to see. Trust and believe. We're going to see. But the Lakers are going to the finals, automatically. All right. Next team up is the Memphis Grizzlies, who are 28-28. They are 8th in the West. The Memphis Grizzlies are one of the most surprising teams in the league. I didn't think they would be in the playoff hunt, but they are. On top of that, they're a 500 team. John Morant is playing very well. I think he's the Rookie of the Year. I don't care what everybody says. Zion Williamson has not played enough games to be Rookie of the Year. So, John Morant, Rookie of the Year, no problem. That team is super young. That team is really good. They're going to the playoffs. And we'll see what the future holds. Hopefully they can hold on to this and they'll be good. The Miami Heat, who last night not only got a win over the Cleveland Cavaliers, but they retired Dwayne Wade's jersey, so that number 3 in Miami is hung forever. Congratulations to Dwayne Wade, much deserved, well deserved. Third greatest shooting guard ever. I don't care what anybody says. Miami Heat is 36-20. They are 4th in the East. They're one of the more dangerous teams you want to see in the playoffs, with Jimmy Butler holding it down and Bam Adebayo, first-time All-Star, holding it down. The Heat will do very well in the playoffs. They actually might go to the second round. After that, I can't tell you anything else because I don't know what the hell they're going to do. But Miami is playing very well. They're doing very good. The team around it looking good. As I said, Jimmy Butler holding it down, Bam Adebayo holding it down. You got Duncan Robinson, the sniper, doing his thing. Kendrick Nunn, Tyler Hero, Goran Dragic. Miami Heat's looking good. They're gonna do well in the playoffs. They're gonna push, and I like that. They're gonna push. All right, the Minnesota Timberwolves. They're 16-38. Minnesota was always one of my favorite teams. Not my favorite teams to watch, but Minnesota was always one of those teams I always thought would, once they got it right, they would be great or good. Right now, they are taking maybe 20 steps back. Towns is hurt, and I feel like Towns is playing more or less to his potential. Even though Towns is dropping about 25, 26, and 10, he's playing at he's playing on an all-star level, but it just seems like he's taking a step back because you can't be that tall and not play no defense, and that's the problem. Everybody feel like he's not playing defense, and he needs to play defense. How the hell you that tall? You're not playing that. Like, that's bad to me. And on top of that, they trade a couple of their assets away. And as well as they acquired D'Angelo Russell from the Golden State Warriors, as I said previously, for Andrew Wiggins. So Wiggins is gone. Now you got D'Angelo Russell, who's supposed to be one of Towns' best friends. So 2 out of the 3 is done. So if they get Devin Booker, then hopefully we'll see what happens in the future. But I don't know. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I don't know, but I know Minnesota's trying to get Devin Booker. But right now, Minnesota, this ain't it. Minnesota, this ain't the team. This ain't the year. Let it go. Call it day. That's it. All right, next up. The best team, not only in the East, but the best team in the league. That is the Milwaukee Bucks, who are, as we speak, 48-8. They are 2 games from being the first team of the season to win 50 games. Now, this team last year actually had the best record in the league. So they're on pace to be better than they were last year, and that's scary for a lot of teams. Last year they got bounced out of the They got bounced out of the Eastern Conference Finals by the Raptors because once they won 2 games, after that they lost the last 4. So the thing about the Bucks was, what exactly can Giannis do in the playoffs? That's probably the biggest thing, because Giannis, as you can see, is looking more unstoppable than he did last year. And last year he won MVP. So if he won MVP last year based on what he did, and he's doing much better than he did last year, he's on cusp of being a back-to-back MVP. That's number one. Number two, I thought losing Malcolm Brogdon would make the Bucks a little bit less, probably a tad bit worse than they did last year, but no, they're better than they were last year. They're literally on cusp to winning 70 games. That's crazy. This team is about to win 70 games. I mean, we haven't seen 70-game season since, of course, Golden State in 2016, but I would not expect this team to win 70 games, but they're about to. They're that damn close. They're that damn close. As I said, Giannis is playing out of his mind. Giannis is 30 and 15. That's Shaq-like numbers, bro. Man, playing like Shaq. Like, it's crazy. He's playing like Shaq. Giannis is a freak. The Greek freak, bro. He's crazy, man. Giannis is crazy. Chris Middleton playing like an all-star once again. He got voted in to be an all-star again. Congratulations to him. You know, they got the depth. They got the coach. I picked this team to go to the final. Well, actually, I didn't pick this team to go to the finals because I didn't think they'd beat from this team, from the Bucks, and the team that I automatically picked to go to the finals. It's funny. It's crazy, but I'll get into that in a minute. But Milwaukee might as well they're going to the finals. They're going to the finals. They're going all the way. They're going all the way. Because there's no team in the East that can stop this team. I don't think so. I mean, as I said, the Celtics have a chance. Miami has somewhat of a chance. There's 2 other teams that possibly have a chance, but we'll see as the time goes on. But right now, for my money, the Bucks definitely they're going to the finals. There's not a team in the East that can stop them. Going on to the New Orleans Pelicans, who are 24-32. They're 4 games from the 8th seed. Okay, so the Zion Williamson hype is there. Zion Williamson is, I think, is played for about a month and a half now, and he's played very well. He's not what everybody presumed him to be, but he is playing very well, and that's good. So there is a future for this team, and that's good. Brandon Ingram is playing as an all-star. He was an all-star this season. He's playing very well. In my opinion, he's the most improved player of the year. It might not go to him, but we'll see. Lonzo Ball is playing very well. You know, you got Josh Hart out there. My man JJ Redick out there playing well. You know, everybody is playing really well. They're actually getting it right. They're actually pushing, so they're actually playing well. Now Zion's here, they're actually winning some games. And again, they're only 4 games back from the 8th seed. So if Memphis start crashing and New Orleans starts rising, then they actually got something going, and that's good. That means the Pelicans actually have a playoff push. I'm not sure if they'll make it to the playoffs. I'm not really picking them to go to the playoffs, but we'll see. Again, as I said, anything can happen. Next team, The New York Knicks. Me being from New York, I am beyond depressed about this team. This team is fire Jim Dolan. Fire Jim Dolan. Somebody get Jim Dolan out. He's making this franchise much worse. They are 17-39. They are not even the worst team in the East, which is a surprise. So they're actually probably doing better than they did the last couple of seasons, where they were the worst team in the East. But Knicks, nothing to say. They parted ways with their president. No, they got rid of their coach this couple months ago. And is it a couple months ago, a couple weeks ago? And then they got rid of their president. I can't talk about the Knicks. They're depressing me already. Next team up is a team that's not depressing. That being the Oklahoma City Thunder. One of the other surprise teams in the league. They're 34-22. They are 6th in the West. I'm surprised at this team. I didn't think this team would go where they are now because simplistically with Chris Paul getting traded over there, they thought that he would just get bought out of his contract and everything, but no. He stayed, and he's been leading this team to what they are now. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander's playing well. Steve Adams is playing well. Gallinari's playing well. Everybody on that team is playing well. Chris Paul, man. I love Chris Paul, man. He's doing his thing. Can't knock him. You can't knock him. Oklahoma City, look out for them because they actually been winning a lot of games. They've been winning a lot of games that have been close. So they've been coming back from a lot of deficits. So Oklahoma City might be dangerous down the stretch. Look out for them. All right, next up is the Orlando Magic, who are 24-32. They are 8th in the East. Orlando is actually taking a step back from last year. They actually were 7th last year in the East. Now they're 8th with a losing record on top of that. They are 8 games below 500. So with Orlando, it's not good. They're barely in the playoffs. Barely making it. Vucevic is my guy. My guy Vucevic has not been playing well. Aaron Gordon, we all know he got robbed out of that slam dunk contest. That is what it is. Jonathan Isaac, Terrence Ross, and Evan Fournier. That team isn't doing. That team is. They're not winning games. They have a losing record, but they're 8th in the East, due to the East not really being as depth. But here's what it is. Magic are there. They're gonna lose in the first round because they're gonna face the Bucks. It's done for that. Orlando, this ain't it. Next team up is exceptionally depressing to talk about. That being the Philadelphia 76ers, who I picked out the gate to go to the East, go to the NBA Finals this year. I thought they would go to the NBA Finals because of what happened last year. Because of Kawhi Leonard, that three-pointer, I don't give a damn. I will never forget that shit last year. That three-pointer last year was so lucky. Bro, I promise you. If that three-pointer never hit, Philly would have went on to the Eastern Conference Finals. Then they would have went to the Finals. They would be champions right now. I don't care what anybody says. Jimmy Butler would have stayed. I don't care. But the reason why I'm so angry at Philly, they're 5th in the East. They're 34-22. They just got blown out by the damn Bucks last night. It's frustrating because I thought Philly would be better than this. But they're not. They got Al Horford out of free agency. They acquired Josh Richardson from the Heat to trade for Jimmy Butler. You know, it's frustrating, bro. Ben Simmons and the B feel like they're not clicking, and that's a problem. They need to click. I think they're great, but they need to be better. Both of their numbers are down from last year, especially Embiid's. Embiid was dropping 27 and 13 last season. This nigga's dropping now 23 and 12. Embiid's playing not horrendous, but he's not playing to what he should be. Playing much better. Ben Simmons is playing not well. I mean, they're winning, but they're not where they should be. They should literally be in the top 2, top 3 of the East, but they're not. So I don't know where they're gonna be. I mean, they're the best home team in the league, which is crazy. They're 25-2 at home, so they're the best home team in the league. But they're one of the worst road teams in the league. So it's like either get it together or something's got to happen. You trade Ben Simmons, we trade Embiid. I don't know what it is because they both signed their extensions. I think Embiid signed his extension 2 seasons ago, and Ben Simmons signed his this past offseason. So it's like you got to get something going. You got to get something going now. This is crazy. We'll see where it goes. But right now, I don't know. The Phoenix Suns, they're 23-34. I think they're a couple games. I think they're probably. I didn't even write this down. I think they're 4.5. No, they're like 6-7 games back from the AC. So I don't know what they're gonna do. In the beginning, Phoenix was playing very well. They actually were playing very well. They were 7-4 at one point, so they were winning. But in typical Phoenix fashion, they started losing games. Devin Booker's been playing probably his best season so far. He actually was an all-star this year. He replaced Damian Lillard, who got hurt. Phoenix has got to get it right. Phoenix is a good team. They just need a good coach, and they need just good direction, and they'll be good. But right now, this ain't it. This ain't the season. This ain't it. All right. Another team that's actually surprising by where they are is the Portland Trailblazers, who are 25-32. They are 3.5 games back from the eighth seed. Actually, they're ninth. They're ninth. So they're legit. So they're ninth. So they're behind Memphis. Portland's been playing very weird lately. Weird this whole season. I didn't think they'd be where they are because they usually been. If there's one thing you can count on Portland, they will be a 45-50 win team, and they have been the last couple seasons. They've been in the playoffs. But this year, they've been playing very weird. They've been playing not well. They lost depth in their defense. Mo Harkless is with the Clippers. I think Alfred is Amino still on the team? I think Amino's still on the team. But they don't have a bad team. They signed Whiteside in the offseason. They signed Whiteside in the offseason. He's been playing very well. Damian Lillard's been playing out of his mind. CJ has regressed. I think he's played less than what he's used to. They got Carmelo Anthony. Carmelo Anthony came back to the league. He went on that team, and he's been playing very well. Rodney Hood hasn't really been playing that well. I think he's hurt, too, if I'm not mistaken. And Yusuf Nurkic is still hurt. I think Zach Collins is hurt too. Like there's a lot of injuries on that team as well, and Damian Lillard's hurt right now, so there's a lot of injuries on that team. So I don't know where this team will go. Hopefully, will they make the playoffs? I mean, they're ninth, so they have a chance. They're 3.5 games back. So again, if Memphis starts falling and Portland starts rising, then we'll see. But right now, Portland, I don't know if they're gonna make it to the playoffs. I don't know if they're gonna squeak in because of the injuries. That might stop them from going anywhere. All right, I'm going to speed this up a little bit. All right, Sacramento Kings, who are 23-33. They actually beat the Clippers last night. That was a surprise. They actually beat the Clippers. They're 5 games back from the 8th seed. I don't really see this team. I don't think this team is going to the playoffs. I think this is another year where they don't make it to the playoffs. They should have made it last year or the year before. No, it was last year. They should have made it, but they didn't. And I think this year, nothing changes. De'Aaron Fox, Buddy Hield, Marvin Bagley, they're playing okay, but there's nothing there. And there's Sacramento, this ain't it. This ain't the season, this ain't it. All right, next team up, the San Antonio Spurs. This is another surprising team to me that I'm surprised they are where they are. They're 24-31. They're the same as Portland. They're 3.5 games back from the 8th seed. So if I know Popovich, I know he's going to try everything he can to make sure this Spurs team gets into the playoffs. Because they've been in the playoffs every season since 2001, 2002. It's one of the seasons, I think since 99. They've been in the playoffs every year. since the 2000s. So, is this gonna be the first team is this gonna be the first time they don't get to the playoffs? I don't know. But you know how Popovich goes. Popovich will make sure they get into the playoffs. That's a fact. But with DeRozan playing a little better than last year, and Marcus Aldridge kind of digressing from last year, DeJounte Murray, Rudy Gay, Lewis Walker IV, all of them. Who knows? We'll see. All right, next team up is another surprising team, that being the defending NBA champions, the Toronto Raptors. The reason why I'm surprised is because when Kawhi Leonard left, Kawhi and Danny Green left, I didn't think that they would be where they are. But with Pascal Siakam playing very well, Kyle Lowry playing well, Serge Ibaka playing well, Fred VanVleet playing well, all these players playing well on this team, they are 41-15. They are second in the East. That's why, and this is one of the teams that I think has a chance to beat Milwaukee. This team right here. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think they have a chance to. I think they are very, very well coached. Nick Nurse is a flipping great coach. I did not know this guy be this good, but he's a really good coach. I thought they were good last year because of Kawhi. Nah, Nick Nurse can coach. He can coach, as you can see. 41-15. Shit, if they have their way, they could probably get 60 wins. That's how good this team can get. They could get 60 wins. And I wouldn't be surprised. Because Nick Nurse is that good of a coach. And they're not even full-blown healthy because Marcus Gasol is still hurt. So, once Marcus Gasol's healthy, look out for this team. They have a good chance of challenging Milwaukee. And I can't wait to see it. And they actually played the Bucks on Tuesday. I'm definitely going to watch that game or look out for it because I ain't going to be home for that. All right, next team up is the Utah Jazz, who are 36-20. They are 5th in the West. They just lost to the Rockets last night. They are doing very well. They're one of the more dangerous teams, one of the better defensive teams in the league. So they're dangerous either way. Rudy Gobert, the Stifle Tower, the best defensive center in the league. Donovan Mitchell, super dangerous whenever he wants to be. They're well coached. Quinn Snyder is coaching that team very well. They're doing good. Look out for them in the playoffs. And the final team we're going to talk about today, because this is a long video, it's almost an hour, goddamn, is the Washington Wizards, who are 20-34. They're 3 games back from the AFC, so they're 9th in the East. And judging by how the Magic are playing, the Wizards actually have an opportunity to get into the playoffs. And I didn't think they would even get this close because John Wall has been hurt most of the season. Actually, he's been hurt all season. He's been hurt since last season. And, of course, Bradley Beal, who's been playing very well. We're talking 28 a game well. He is playing super well. I just think in my mind he should never re-signed over there because, listen, loyalty is what it is. I understand. But, I mean, if the franchise isn't giving you anything to win, then I don't know why you would stay. I think Bradley Beal should at least weigh his options before he just decided to re-sign there. That's just my opinion. But the Wizards have an opportunity to get to the playoffs. We'll see how everything goes. And that was a recap. Not a recap, but that was a mid-season look of the NBA. This is one of my longest videos. This literally was almost an hour. It's about to eclipse an hour soon. But, yeah, that's how everything is looking. We'll review the playoffs once we get into April. I think the playoffs are April, like the second, the third week of April. So once we get to that point, I will predict the playoffs. I'll see where everything goes. I'll see the matchups, predict them from there, and we'll do it. Woo! Been sitting here for an hour. But it's Rose, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for all the love, support as always. Until next time, peace, love, 100. You're